This video's made for adult collectors because he's gonna devastate your wall. I'm pretty sure I made that joke before. I probably have. I'm a bit stupid. That's nice. That's very nice. So in the span of like a few months, we got every single Constructicon. Well, in some regions anyways. But here they are, a coherent team sharing the same color palette and, well, jank between them. But it's charming kind of jank. I like this team. These figures aren't perfect, but they are fun. But you buy this set, not for the individual figures. I mean, you could, but that's not the purpose of this video. Let's finally assemble the big boy. So the best place to start combining them is actually in their vehicle modes. So here they all are, just one more time, looking fantastic. We're gonna start with the legs. So with Scrapper, it's real easy. You just take this section, you bring it out and around on both sides. You want to bring this up just to get it out of the way so you can see what you're doing and clip that into place. Leave the elbows bent. Then you want to take this little clip piece here and flip it down and then bring this together, bring that up, and then this will clip into place here rather than the original Combiner Wars one where it was just a tab that went into here and it would break on some people because of the amount of force applied to this. This holds a lot better. Then you want to take this section, bend it back, rotate the driver's position 180 degrees, and then we're going to split the leg and leave it like that. Mixmaster is quite cool because normally you take the whole front section, you flip it up, but you don't do that here. You just take this, the front face, and you flip it up. That's really cool. Then you fold these sections down right here, and you want to go like that far at an angle, fold these in, flip this up. That acts as a heel. Then you open the arms just a little bit just to get them out of the way. That frees up the ankle tilt. Then we're going to open this section up and fold that out. You can leave it like this in combine mode as well, but it doesn't sit fully flush when it's connected if you don't want the spout, but I'm going to fold the spout out and those are ready to go. Now you bring in the little trailer piece from Long Haul and you want to open this entire thing up and then just bring the hips down. They peg into the hip skirts. So yeah, bring the hips down. We're going to split them slightly and then we're going to fold this bit up here and then this will just accordion in on itself and sit there like that. Now for Scrapper, you want to take this section, slide it in, peg it together, and then bend it down. And we're going to activate the ankle tilt. One click. Mixmaster, you just take it and you slide it in, close that up. That locks the whole leg into place. Click the ankle by one. And there you have that. Now, you want to take Long Haul's gun and plug it into the front of Mixmaster to form that weird toe that he has in the cartoon. And there you have the legs all done. So now for this top section, we're gonna bring in Long Haul. So Long Haul, you want to bring the legs out, unpeg the arms, and bring them up like that. Then you want to rotate the bicep 90 degrees so that this port is facing that peg, then peg it into place, and then peg it into the side of the torso right there. So you do that here as well, get that around, plug that in. Now the the Long Haul feet, you want to bring down like this, and then just bring these up and out, but leave them there because we're going to take this piece, fold that down, and that will then tab into that and connect everything together. Then we bring Devastator back in, and you just slide this over that big brick, and then back here, you bring it under and it will tab into that. There you have the lower torso done. Now the upper torso, bring the arms down, fold the fists in, bring out this little peg here in the chest, and then take this whole assembly and, before you split it open, bring the head out and then split it open. And this will come around and snap together. Then you bring that down, rotate the head, fold out the face, and that's pretty much, and then fold this back. Then we're gonna get the connecting pieces out. And that's pretty much it for him. So you're gonna bring this down and this will peg into several different places. Here, 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 and here. So you just wanna make sure everything's lined up correctly and get it all smushed down into place. Something's not smushing down into place. There it is. Aha! There you have the top half of Devastator done. Now we're gonna work on the arms. The arms are pretty easy with scavenger. I always want to call him scrapper. This is not scrapper. You fold that all the way in, you split the legs, and then you bring this entire assembly down, fold that in. There's your customer service stamp. And then you want to take this panel right here and bring that down. Then we're gonna bring in Devastator. You wanna take it, you wanna slide it in. And with that panel now down, you wanna take this foot and bend it up. And that will peg into place. That will keep the entire like tread section together. And that is one of the arms attached. Bone Crusher, similar situation. You bring the legs out. You bring this section down and around. Then you wanna fold this out and close the hips back up. Bring in Devastator. Slide this on all the way. Then we peg this in. One thing I forgot to mention as well is you want to make sure these are pegged into the long haul arms, the back treads. They do tab in like that on both sides. And there you have Devastator all combined. Ooh, I bumped my light. Now we need to bring in all of his bits and the guns for the Constructicons. So the hands, we're gonna fold these 5mm pegs up, bring them out, just like on the Combiner Wars one, and they will peg into these bits here and here, form the arms. This chest plate, it connects very interestingly. So you fold this down, right? And then you clip this onto here. And then it just dunk into place. It pegs in at the top and then on the treads on either side, like that, to keep everything super secure. I like that. The gun goes in his hand. And then, what do you do with all the Constructicon guns? Well, Hook's gun can go back here on the hook. And then the rest of them, you just sort of peg them around this right here. All the guns store on this weird backpack section. And there you have Devastator. It's very fun to do that. I like doing that. That's definitely Devastator. I will talk about the knees because I got some more Evan information about that, but this looks fantastic to me. I know right off the bat, some people don't like the mismatched treads. I'm okay with it. It adds to the asymmetry, but I can see why some people might not like it. I lost my place in the script. There it is. Wow. He is large. Like, even though they tried to keep him somewhat the same size as a modern combiner offering, he is still a smidge taller than Silverbolt, but I like that. I don't like it when he's insanely massive, but I like him to at least be bigger than some of the others. I'm hoping T-Spark Predaking is like that because I want that thing. I really dig how this looks up close. The details are pretty pronounced for it being in this green color. Some of them can get lost. I love this shade of purple mixed with the black and the bits of silver throughout. Head is just bang on to me. That unimpressed scowl he always has and that red visor. And you can make it look like he's just been absolutely rocked in the face. Bro can suck his own face in. Now, the biggest thing, well, one anyways, I see people talk about online is how much smaller this is than the Combiner Wars one. And yeah, it's smaller. Shout out to Comic Alley Toys for letting me grab photos of their copy they have for sale, not sponsored. I know someone's gonna ask, it's 249 Canadian dollars. But having messed with theirs after not touching that toy for ages, good God, it is not great. It's wibbly and wobbly and rickety and thin, and it doesn't like holding together. This new one is smaller, but it is so much more solid and sturdy. Everything feels thicker. Even the employees at the store were saying the same thing. They're like, wow, the new one feels so much nicer. This size also makes it way more manageable on like a shelf because it can actually fit in most shelves. There is a backpack. And like, this is very Devastator. Loads of other ones have that. It's just here it's a bit more pronounced, but I personally don't mind. It's also a place to stick most of the guns. So you can just stick them all over the backpack and he's got like defense on his back now. The knees, they are offset from like the center position. And I was like, why is that? So I just bugged Evan again about it and I got an answer. So what I asked him was, I said, I have a final research question for you regarding Devastator. His knees being offset, what's the reasoning behind that? Is that so that he can stand stock straight without the sides of the vehicles clashing in combined mode, or is it something else? And his answer was correct. That was done so that when standing up straight, they don't grind into one another. And yeah, the TFC one here, don't mind the missing arm, clashes because the knees are centered, and the Make Toys one does the same thing. Hell, even Gravity Builder is like that. So yeah, I know it looks a wee bit off, but I do like how he can stand stock straight because the other ones are at a permanent A stance. This shoulder on mine is a tiny bit loose for my liking, and the gun sits in the hand okay, but I wish it was a wee bit more secure. I do like how Longhaul's gun forms the weird toe thing that Mixmaster gets in combined mode. I feel like that's a clever use of parts. But they did make this thing way more solid than a lot of other... But they did make the... That's what happens when you mess up a line when you're trying to read and you're reading a bit too fast. But they did make this thing way more solid than a lot of other Devastators out there, especially at this size. So how does it hold up under motion? So you think this guy would be thwart with problems when it came to his articulation, because the last one was thwart with problems because of its articulation. But everything plugs together on this so well that messing with this and posing it is actually quite fun. There are still a couple of balance things because he's really top heavy, but it does the job quite well. So start with the head. It can rotate. It can do a full 360 degrees. It can't look up and down at all or wiggle, and I assume that's just how it all transforms and stuff, and the little thin plate it's on. But it would have been nice if it could look up and down and left and right, or like tilt, but you can't do that. Shoulders, they can do a full 360. They can go out that far. You do have bicep rotation on each, and each one has this because of transformation, but you can sort of use that in some poses if you want to get like the arm to go even further in to his chest. You then have wrist joint and fingers that can open and close, but the actual holding of the gun is done by this 5mm port here, so you can literally plug anything you want into his hands. Like, oh, now he's holding Megatron. You can't see that. There he is. He does have a waist joint. However, it's limited. It only goes about that far either way, just due to the backpack thing. But they did specifically cut out sections here so you could get it to go that far either way. And honestly, that far is pretty fine for me. Hip skirts, they can go all the way out. The hips, ratchet forward. They ratchet back that far. They do not ratchet in and out. I kind of wish they did. But he hasn't done the splits on me at all, so there's that. You have thigh rotation, 90 degrees of bend at both knees, and then both legs have an ankle tilt. Now this one goes about that far, and it does push the Mixmaster arm out of alignment, but if you don't push the Mixmaster arm, it goes that far. And then this one goes that far. Now the ankle tilts are located in separate spots. Let me just pull you down here. So Mixmaster's ankle tilt is down here, right at the base of the drum, whereas Scrapper's ankle tilt is up here. It doesn't ruin anything when it comes to like getting him in an A stance. Oh, this one's stiff. You can still like do that and he looks fine. Like there's so much stuff covering it up that you can't really tell that the ankle tilt is like weird. So I'm okay with the slightly offset ankle tilt. Let's put his gun in his hand. But yeah, the ankles are located in weird spots. But he is still very, very well articulated. He's as articulated as the frame combiners are without having a frame, which is just awesome. I love that. It does mean some of the robots are a little bit compromised looking at these two, but it is still very, very nice. Now with a bunch of other 86 and G1 generations toys, this feels right at home. Like he looks great with a lot of different types of generations guys, 86 guys, regular Legacy / Age of the Primes guys. It looks great. I really like this set a lot. To me, it's like miles better than the Combiner Wars one and those other third-party ones I showed you. And it is a very fun set to pull apart, mess with, and then so easy to just put back together. It has a couple of issues, like there are some glaring ones, but overall, I definitely do recommend tracking this set down. It is very nice and probably the best Devastator Hasbro's ever put out. But that's my look at, I almost said Combiner Wars, at Studio Series 86 Devastator. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.